All right, welcome everyone to our vision board party for 2022. I am so excited that you all are in the room, in the Zoom room. And for those that may catch this recording, I appreciate you taking time out to watch it. We are going to be setting our goals and our vision for 2022. And this is hosted by my podcast, Walking Out Your Purpose. And we are all about encouraging and inspiring and motivating women to reach their full potential in all areas of their life. So having a vision board is a part of that journey. So I hope you all are as excited as I am to work on your board. For those that may have not done a vision board before, or just need a little bit of a reminder of how this process works, I'm going to walk through just a couple of things for you to set the ground rules for our event today, but also on how to set goals and how to set your vision board. It's going to be real quick because really this is all about us cutting out pictures and, putting our boards together. So the first thing is, it's a party, but we got some rules. So they're easy rules though. It's have fun. I want you to be creative. And that's why we said, hey, you can use Canva, you can use poster boards, you can use special scissors, you can use whatever you want, sparkles, whatever. Just be creative. It's your piece of art. It's your piece of work. And it's your vision. So I may not understand it. Someone else may not understand it, but it's yours. It's what God has, installed in you to do, for the work for you to do. So it's yours. So you can put whatever you want. There is no limits, right? We won't ever want to limit ourselves when we think about our vision, right? Because it's forward thinking. And so it's a no judgment zone for sure. And we want positive vibes, of course, right? We want to celebrate each other. We want to be excited. We want to be kind to one another. And you certainly can share. You certainly don't have to share. This is all about you. And then there's no right or wrong way to do your board. So just because I do mine on a poster board and my cousin's gonna do hers, or excuse me, mine is on a picture frame and my cousin's gonna do hers on a poster board, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. You can do it however you want to do it. And then whatever you put on your board, I want you all to make sure that you start to do the work. We don't want to just have it sitting in our room somewhere or off tucked to the side. No, ma'am. This needs to be visible. You need to put it in a place that you constantly see it, and you need to actually start to do the work to make sure that those aspirations come to life. I always like to do, you don't have to do it this way, but I like to have some short-term things that I know that I want to get done this year. And then I have some things that are futuristic, right? So that I can work towards those things. But the point here is that be brave enough to live the life of your dreams according to your vision and purpose instead of the expectations and opinions of others. So it don't matter what everybody else has on their board. It's about what you want for your life. Of course, that's in alignment with God. So that is the rules. And then our foundation, of course, you all know I'm gonna throw a scripture in there, but our foundation, of course, comes from 3 verses, Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision, make it plain, that he may run who reads it, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it will speak and it will not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. All right. So whatever you put out there, God is going to allow that to come to pass as long as it's in his will, right? And then we're going to trust in him with all our heart and understanding. We're going to allow him to direct our path. That means we have to, again, be in alignment so that what we are putting on our boards come to pass, right? And then where there's no vision, people perish. So we know that we need to be thinking futuristically about what it is that we want to accomplish. Okay, so that's our foundation. And then I love this quote. Your purpose explains what you are doing with your life. Your vision explains how you are living your purpose. And your goals enable you to realize that vision. So that's why we're doing this party today. That's why we're having this conversation, why we're putting our plans in place so that we can, of course, live on purpose with purpose, right? All right, so how we're going to get started. Of course, like I said, I always start with seeking, alignment with God. The second thing is to think big. And I said, think big, y'all, on this slide. Think is what I meant. Think big. No small thinking. We don't want to limit ourselves, as I mentioned before. And the question that you want to think about or you don't want to think about, excuse me, is how in the world will I ever be able to do that? No. Is I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. We're going to talk in the affirmative, right? And then as you think about what you want to put on your vision board, because maybe some of you don't have all your pictures yet, is what would you want your life to look like if money and resources weren't an option? Okay. And what have I always wanted to do, but never had the courage to do? And then what do you wish you had more time in life to do? Right? So those are a couple of questions that you can think about as you put your board together. All right. And you'll never change your life until you change something that you do daily. We know that habits, routines are critical in order for us to accomplish anything, right? So that's how we're going to get started. Here are categories. So I know sometimes it's hard to think about what do I, again, what do I want to put on my board? So these are some categories that you can think about. Spiritual, financial, it could be around your personal, your professional development with your career, could be around social, what you want to do within the social, within social media, what you want to do socially with your friends. It could be family, business, travel, relationships. So you don't have to have all of those because your girl had almost all of them last year. That's a lot. So you don't have to have all those. Pick a couple. I think this year I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number of grace. So I have 5, but yeah, pick a couple that you want to highlight on your board. You don't have to do it that way, but that's just a way that you can organize your thoughts. All right. And then you want to set SMART goals. Remember, again, the way that I do my board is I do goals that are going to happen this year and then future goals, right? So if you're thinking about the ones that you want to accomplish this year, for sure, you want them to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. So saying you want to be a millionaire without—
Hey, Bo, come here.
I got to put somebody on mute. Hold on. Okay. So when you think about the SMART goals, you want to have specific. So when you say I want to be a millionaire, okay, that's specific, right? But how are you going to get there? How are you going to measure your progress there, right? So you actually want to have, what are the things that you're going to do to make sure that you can reach that millionaire status, right? And then attainable. Okay, well, where are you now? So that you can know how far is it out, how far out am I from that particular goal? So is that attainable? Maybe I need to scale that back to, okay, millionaire for future vision, but for this year, maybe I want to get to 500,000 because I'm at whatever number, right? And then relevant for you, it's relevant maybe because you want generational wealth or what have you. And then time bound is, okay, for 2025, maybe that's when I want to attain millionaire status, but maybe for 2022, I'm going to get to 500,000 and this is how I'm going to do it. So that's just an example. It don't have to be about money, y'all. I'm just using that because we can all relate to that. Okay. So that's definition of a SMART goal. I want you all to find your pictures. You can get them out of magazines, Google images, all that stuff. You can place them on your board. Doesn't matter what kind of board you have. Last year, somebody did theirs on a cork board. I thought that was just awesome. I know others are going to do theirs on Canva. And when you do it on Canva, you can also save it as a wallpaper and you can have it on your phone. So feel free to use whatever creative outlet that you want to use and just get started. And so to set yourself up for success, this is, I think, my last slide. You want to make sure that you define a cadence again on how you're going to check in, or when you're going to check in on your progress. Remember, we're not going to just set the board aside. We're going to put it in a visible spot and we're going to check in on it, right? Whether that's quarterly, monthly, semi-annually, whatever you decide. You're going to identify your milestones, right? So again, once you've set a high level goal, you want to go through, okay, what are the things that I'm going to check off that's going to help me understand that I'm actually going to reach that goal in a certain period of time, right? And then you're going to find an accountability partner. That could be me, of course, but that could be, anyone in your circle. But you want to find an accountability partner, somebody that's going to work, give you that motivation and that encouragement. And then you can subscribe, of course, I'm going to say to my channel, to my YouTube channel or my podcast, but also just find encouraging platforms. That's the point here. It's just find, people that are going to encourage and speak life and motivate you to do the things that you want to do with your life. Okay. And then look at your board often, repeat affirmations. And I heard my cousin say that when we started. And this is one: I am worthy of what I desire. Yes, ma'am. So make sure you repeat affirmations, pray for wisdom, direction, and courage. All right. So those are the starting points to getting us going on our vision board. I have some scriptures in here. I'm happy to share this deck with anybody that wants it. But here are several encouraging scriptures. It is very biblical to set goals, to set a vision, to put things in place, as long as, again, we know ultimately who, is going to direct our path, right? And so it's very important that we keep ourselves grounded in that. So let's go. It's time to go. So I have, I'll put these in the chat as well. You can check out the podcast and, of course, check out career coaching that I do as well. But we're going to get started. Any questions on anything so far?
Hey, Alicia, could you send me those scriptures so I can put them on my board, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes. Let me start.